Good evening, everyone. Let's see. There it is. Hey, everyone. I hope all is well. I'm so excited about this interview that I am doing tonight. I haven't done interviews in a while, but I'm excited about doing this particular interview tonight with a young man all the way in London, England, who has, I feel, really cracks the code on how to just really exploit all of your gifts, exploit in a good way, and just kind of get the most out of it. He is a visionary. He is a businessman. I'm blessed to, be working in partnership with him and have done for the last 3 years. Um, so his name is Sam Adebanjo. He is the owner of Gospel Touch, which is a corporate band based in London, England, but all throughout England. Um, and they're here in the United States. Sometimes you guys see me saying that I need singers in Texas or LA or New York or New Jersey. I'm working through this particular agency. So, hi. So, um, I want to bring him on. Have you requested to be in my live yet? Let me request for you to be in my live. All right. Hey, DeAndre. How are you? Oh, thank you. You said I am so talented and inspirational. Yes, I'm still doing one-on-one voice lessons. Of course. I do those every day. So just hit me up. Hi, Sam. Are you there?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Are we doing an interview in the dark?
I'm not sure why my light is not on, Maybe my camera. I've not done one of these before, so you have to bear with me. Let me see how I can get my camera. Yeah, here we are.
There you go.
This is my first live. This is 1:00 for us here in the UK. So usually at this time I'll be in my bed.
Big time.
But just for this interview, I'm on. I'm awake.
It is so good to see you. Huh? What'd you say?
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I was struggling just a few minutes ago before we got on here. Life was happening, but I was like, it's 8:00. I got to get myself together. I'm so excited you're here because I've known you since 2015, and we had a bit of a rocky start. Yes. But I think we have more in common than not. Hey, Shay. So Shay is on here. She's a phenomenal singer and worship leader, phenomenal soprano, and I will be booking her for our stuff. So I wanted to talk to you. I did tell them that you're the owner of Gospel Touch. Now, talk to them about how Gospel Touch is unique, especially in the space of the United Kingdom and what you're even bringing to the States. What is Gospel Touch? I did talk about you being a corporate band, but be more specific about that.
Yeah, Gospel Touch, we started off as Desire to Worship God. So we are still very much AKA Desire to Worship God. So anyone that knows me and know Gospel Touch will know that it's AKA Desire to Worship God. So we go back 2003.
Wow.
When we launched in Manchester, England, and then since then we've been going strong. We in 2014 we officially took the courage to proper structure it properly and went through rebranding. So that means that we were very specific on the target audience, and I used to make a lot of music that was very much influenced by Kirk Franklin, very, very contemporary praise and worship. And we did a lot of stuff in the church. We did a lot of tour.
Mm-hmm.
We brought US artists down in the UK and gave them massive exposure. from the US in the UK, and so all that I just started after all that experience of doing tours, all the artists, recording music, I decided to rebrand because I find that it was really hard I had to really look into the vision, and and the vision is to promote gospel music in the mainstream, and I realized that I've been doing that in the church, and the church and mainstream don't really go together. So, so I decided to focus on also retaining our members. And anyone that has a group knows this. It's very hard to keep a group for more than 3, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Generally, it's hard because people grow up, things happen. It's voluntary. Eventually people move on, and that's pretty much why we decided that to bring something in that's going to help people to also get paid. That can be a little part-time job, full-time job, and that was a game changer for us. And from there, we've been expanding. Yeah.
Mommy, can I drink some of this? Can I drink some of this?
Yes, I'm on live. Goodbye. Yes. Okay, thank you. So tell me about, so basically you're a singer, songwriter, church person. There's a lot of people who are singers, who produce their own music, who want their voices to be heard, and they're not really sure how to get out. But I think one thing you said is critical. You said you were singing in the church, and the church kind of doesn't find gospel music unique, but outside of church, there's a uniqueness of gospel music, and there is a way to monetize it. So what I've noticed you've done with Gospel Touch is, you have figured out your target audience, which isn't people who typically listen to gospel music. So for them, gospel music is a special occasion. It's wedding music. You know what I'm saying? It's funeral music. It's I need a choir for TV and those kinds of things. So you've gone into the commercial atmosphere where gospel music is a commodity. It's a rare commodity. It's a moment in time. Like, we need a gospel choir for this. And you've really figured out like those are the people that are going to be willing to pay and really treat this like a business, because they don't necessarily know what church to go into to find gospel singers. They wouldn't think about that. Yeah.
Yes. It sounds quite straightforward, and it is straightforward.
But that doesn't mean it's easy. It's simple doesn't always mean easy.
Yeah. It took me a long time to get into it. One of the biggest barriers I find with the system that we work in is that not all church religious people are comfortable with that. You would think that a lot are, but not all. A lot of people, I for one, had a reservation about singing style music. So I was really, I don't really listen to secular music. So I would say, I'm one of those social secular music. Just like I would say, passive smoker. I don't smoke, but you walk past people that smoke and you smell it. I'm that kind of person. I listen to secular music based on being on the road, being in a car with or somewhere.
You're not a major consumer of it.
Party, and being played. So I'm one of those people. So I wasn't really in it. I was like, I'm not sure I want to go to this direction and singing a love song at somebody's wedding, an inspirational song at somebody's wedding. So for a long time, I was quite critical towards critical and had my reservation regarding going into that industry. So not that because I didn't know it was. I was inspired by one of the biggest gospel choir here in the UK. I was inspired by them. but I didn't like what was going on, what I was hearing, the press, that the reputation they had, and I was like, nah, I'm not going into that. But eventually, after a long praying and searching for years, searching for probably about 3-4 years, I eventually came to the conclusion on how this was going to be worked, how I was going to make this work. And it didn't, it wasn't easy. But once I eventually got it, I had to figure it out myself, which was also a beautiful thing that I figured it out myself. I'll tell you one thing. I was working as a manager, as a housing manager, and I decided to leave. I was made redundant, actually. I was made redundant, and
you were what?
Even though I was made redundant, which means they call it, I was laid off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called
okay.
It's called layoff.
Okay.
Yeah, we call it redundant. So I was laid off, and then I registered. I kind of started building up these agencies, but all the contact I made, silly me, I made it using the work email. So by the time potential places that I could have found myself, that would have helped me to give me a big jump start, I had already used my work email to set up. So because I was no longer there, I just didn't see that avenue worked. But once I realized what I was doing 2 years later, I went back to those stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I've tried these people already. Oh, yes. But I didn't understand it then. So now I realized that all I needed to do was to call these people and say, I'm available. Here's the details. But when you don't know, knowledge is power. When you don't know. And that's the beauty about what we're talking about tonight. And I realized that a lot of people know a lot of things, but things are not happening. Things are not happening because they just need direction. And that's the beauty about what we're gonna be talking more about.
So let me ask you this: where is Gospel Touch now? Because you said 2003 you started, 2014 you really started to make it an official thing. So it's been 8 years, I think, maybe 9. It's been 9 years going on. So Gospel Touch now, from my understanding, is in Manchester, London, and Birmingham, correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
How many singers? How many members do you have?
How many members? We got up to 100 members. Okay, so we operate. So basically, I always say that we are a northwest and we're based in South London. Most of our members are in London, but we do operate across the UK. We tend to brand ourselves as a choir where you can book us in London or in the Northwest. So we've got a team in the Northwest as well. So we operate what used to be something that used to be, that used to kind of bother me a little bit, was like I didn't feel like we have, you see some choirs or groups and you've got the same faces. Delisa, Sam, and it's another person with another person, and those are the group of people that travel everywhere. And it used to bother me that we didn't have that. I didn't feel like I had that commitment from our team. But eventually, that actually became one of the strongest strengths of.
Because you were able to be cohesive.
Say it again?
Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying that you guys didn't have like you guys weren't the same faces every time.
Yeah.
But that was what actually allowed you to scale.
So I'm missing you there?
I said that's actually what allowed you to scale. It allowed you to scale because it wasn't the same people.
100%. I was very, I really didn't like the name agency. I didn't like Gospel Touch too. Even to now, when you say agency, still doesn't sit well with me completely. Because I always see a choir as you need to be a collective of regular people. And I guess in order for you to scale, it makes a lot of sense to operate as an agency, because what it means is you don't have to rely on Sam being there. You don't have to rely on me. You don't have to rely if Delisa couldn't do something or somebody else couldn't do something. It doesn't mean that the show goes on. And it also means that you can always bring new people.
Yeah.
People give opportunities. We brought people in that from different levels, and they come. I've seen people grow. I've seen people starting their own thing now. I've seen people on levels like, some of our members. I've seen one of our members was at the recent Grammy. One of our members was now is part of a major management team. The major artist, one of the biggest artists in the world. And some of these guys are still committed to us. So, and these are people that have been part of the team now doing major big things. Big things.
So,
and
can I
still call on them?
Right. And you've done things for like BBC, England, like you've been on TV. Let's talk about some of the things that we've done here in America, okay? Because this is what happened, y'all. I didn't really care for Sam too much. Sam was a little iffy about me too for a while there. And then he was just like, hey, if I bring Gospel Touch to America, could you help me? And I actually said, Americans don't need help finding gospel singers. I said, I guess, and then it was just like the very first gig that we got was for Wrigley. I mean, how could I ever forget that? It was for the company Wrigley that makes Mars bars and Snickers and, the chocolate company. They were the first person to hire us here in Atlanta. They were having a big, was it like a Super Bowl? It was like a Super Bowl party at the Atlanta Aquarium. Yes, it was like a huge pre-Super Bowl party. They had like 3 different bands there, so we were just one of them. It was huge. I mean, I was just like, this is what corporate events are? What the heck? So, from then it just started to come really regularly where we were just going into spaces that we as gospel singers would not traditionally be in. And so that was when I understood. Pardon?
You went to Wyoming.
Oh yes, I'm getting there. Let me tell my testimony. So, we were going into spaces that Black singers, gospel singers are not traditionally in, like the corporate events, just different like memorials and things like that. Some highlights were, obviously we went to Wyoming. He called me one day and was like, I told him where I knew singers. First of all, I said, I know singers in Atlanta, Florida, basically up and down the coasts, Texas, LA, New York, New Jersey, everything on the East Coast. That's where I know like a lot of singers. Well, Sam called and said that he had a gig in Wyoming. And I said, I don't know a soul in Wyoming. Why would you advertise in Wyoming? What are you going to do? Well, these people in Wyoming were willing to pay for our flights. So me and 3 other singers, we went out to Wyoming, which was an adventure in and of itself because it was June and it snowed and we were not expecting that. And it was oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. We didn't expect it to be 30 degrees in Wyoming. We didn't expect it to snow. It was such an adventure. It was an amazing opportunity though, because it's like, how else would I have ever gotten to Wyoming? And just even being in that space, it was just like, wow. And they were so appreciative of us. And then we got the call to do the NBA All-Star dedication to Kobe Bryant. So if you guys see, there's like a dedication to Kobe Bryant that has like Chance the Rapper, Barack Obama, all of these people were in this, like, I think it was like a 5-minute segment. The choir that was in the background singing all the oohs and ahs and all of that was Gospel Touch. So that's the reach that Gospel Touch has. And that's why I started off this conversation saying that Sam is such a visionary. We did stuff in Dubai. He was like, Delisa, do you know people in Dubai? And then, we did something in Dubai. Like, so what Sam has done, the point of this is Sam has figured out, and let's not overlook the fact that this has become an extra stream of income for me, who's a singer vocal coach. So this is another way for me to monetize my gift. I'm already monetizing my gift by teaching. I'm already monetizing my gift by creating products. I'm already monetizing my gift by singing. Now I get to monetize my gift by being a vocal contractor and hiring other people and putting together rehearsals for Gospel Touch. So this is the impact that Gospel Touch has on other people's lives. And that's the reason why I call Sam a visionary. I see that he is successful at not only building a brand, but branching his brand out, scaling his brand. Sam takes great vacations. Okay. Sam can live in the fruit of his labor. Sam be like, oh, I'm gonna be in Bahamas with my family. I'm gonna be here. I'm like, okay, praise God. You know, so Sam is doing well. And I know that you also have, other investments and things like that. So you're just a businessman in general. And the point of all of this is you are coming out now with a course to help other people do the same thing. Let me answer one question real quick. Oh, yeah. Somebody asked, where in London are you based?
Well, Central London. I say Central London. I don't actually live in London.
Oh.
But Gospel Touch is registered in Central London. So if you know London, then it's Central London.
Yeah.
If you want to be specific, to say where in London, there is a place called Camberwell. Camberwell. If you know what that is, then you know.
Okay.
If you don't know, you don't know.
I don't know.
It's Central. Yeah.
I was gonna say something else, but it's gone. It's gone.
Okay. When you remember, bring it.
Yeah, I will. Oh, that was it. So the reason why Sam and I's relationship works so well is because, for the last 15 years, I have been an online voice teacher, which means I have clients all over the world. And it's not to say Sam doesn't do things all over the world. You've taken Gospel Touch to Russia and, all these different countries, and you've been doing amazing things.
In Europe, we've been all over Europe, Ibiza, Rome, Spain, Romania, yeah.
Right. So you've done all kinds of stuff. I remember when I met you, you were doing like a sister act tribute in like a whole nother country and all this kind of stuff. So what makes us work well together is I have a pool of singers from all over the world simply because my client base is all over the world. So that gives me access to singers in a lot of different places. I know personally people that live in Indonesia and China and New Zealand and Australia. So it's like that gives Sam the freedom to be able to advertise for, Gospel Touch in these different spaces and have the security that I'm going to know people in those particular spaces. So that's why our partnership works really well. So what I wanted to get to is you have a course now where you want to teach others about how you do what you do.
Absolutely. I'm excited about this course. It's been a long time coming. One of my reservation about this course is the fact that I was about to create more competition for myself.
Right.
And I think, and that's the thing, when you're doing things like this, you have to be like, I'm going to tell people how I did this. It's going to be more people. It means that more people can do this. But the truth is, if this is going to change people's life, and it's really going to transform people's life, because there are people that are trying to figure it out. I know what it's like. There are things, even doing this course, I'm trying to figure it out. How am I going to present this? How am I going to get the right audience? How am I going to really get the right people? So, and sometimes the best way to get results is being determined and not giving up. And for me, I feel like I said, if this helps some people, I know it's going to help some people. I know some people are going to probably do even bigger and better than I've done. I know some people that already have the skills. All they need is just direction. So that's why I've decided to create this course. and this coaching program to help people, especially in the US, because like when I spoke to you, Delisa, a few years ago, you were like, nah, this is not going to work in the US. And in fact, I came to US, I did a tour in a Gospel Touch tour in 2014 with my team. And I came and I was like, I went to all these churches, all this talent, and I thought, no, it's not going to really work because the singers are just there, they're everywhere, everybody sings. So it took me time to keep looking, but I never gave up. I was like, you know what, there's going to be something here. And, it's funny how myself and Delisa, we connected, and even though we knew each other, kind of know of each other, but once I realized that, Delisa is a contact, we could do stuff together. We also have all the contacts, but I know that this thing is all about relationship as well, or who believes in your vision. So, and because Delisa believes in this vision and a few other people we work with, it just makes it so much easier. So if you are trying to do the same thing and you don't have the Delisas or you don't have the contacts, that's not a problem. So that's what we're going to help you from building a brand from scratch. We're going to be looking at branding, we're going to be looking at setting up everything you need, and you don't have to figure it out. And whatever it costs you, there's nothing free. All right, some people are going to sit on a couple of pounds or dollars because they don't want to pay for a service. But this service could pretty much change your life. This service could pretty much be something that you make that money back in 1-2 bookings.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. So, so that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Well, I think that, first of all, mentorship is important. It shortens the learning curve. Of course, can you do this on your own without paying? Absolutely, 100%. You can do anything on your own without paying, but it's going to take you longer and you're going to make more expensive mistakes. It's going to cost you time and money. And so if you want to be able to do something, sometimes you just won't get there.
You don't figure it out. There's a lot of things you can do yourself. Do you want to take 40 days or do you want to take 40 years?
Yeah.
And that's the decision. When you have a coach, what's going to take you 40 years is going to take you 40 days. So, and a lot of people are trying to do it by themselves. It took me years. I've been doing this is 20 years anniversary of running Gospel Touch, so Desire to Worship God, the whole planning of the event, the whole recording. I'm also a recording artist. So it took me a long time for me to figure it out. So imagine if I have somebody to just say, Sam, give me this and I'll show you everything. This is nowhere, that no one in this industry that is doing this. People will teach you how to be a great vocal coach. No, it's not about this. You don't have to be a singer, all right? You don't have to be a musician. You don't have to have the talent to run.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have the talent. No, zero talent.
Yeah.
To do what I do. So if you are thinking, oh, I'm a great musician, I'm a great arranger. No, it's not about the arranging music. No, it's not about that.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be people in your team that can do all that. And I think that's what people get it wrong sometimes. They think, oh, that arranger is going to be sick. That arranger is going to be dope. No, it's not about that. No, it's not about, yes, you're going to do good quality music. But you can have the best voice in the world. If you do not get yourself in the right place, if you're not determined enough, that if you don't know who your audience are, you are going to be as broke as local champion.
It's so yeah. Let me say, I something that I've been doing for myself. I mean, I guess I low key created my own corporate band with me at the head of it, because I've been, performing for different city functions, like different corporate functions and stuff like that lately. And it's Black History Month, so of course I created a whole set. It was a blackety black set, you know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson, Aretha Franklin, Diana Ross. My set of music was just all of that. As a rest song, I threw in True Colors, Cyndi Lauper, just as a song to just, give me a few minutes that I'm not singing too hard. People came up to me and was like, that True Colors was amazing. Like, that was their favorite moment.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's really about figuring out what your audience wants. Because I sang 40 minutes of Black music, and they were oh my gosh, they were like, True Colors was it. That was the crazy thing about True Colors was during that moment, there were some kids that wanted to come up on the stage. So I thought maybe they knew the song and wanted to sing it, but they just wanted to play around. They were like 11, 12-year-old boys. And they were like, hey, let us come. So I was like, oh, you know the song? Yeah, come on. And then they came on stage and I was like, are y'all going to dance? Are y'all going to, what is going on? So the whole first verse, I didn't even sing because I was like figuring out what the kids were doing. So right when we got around to, by the end of the first chorus, I realized these kids weren't really doing anything but playing around. So I said, okay, get off the stage. I find it interesting that my whole first verse and first chorus didn't even get sung, and people said that was the most beautiful one.
And that's the beauty about it. Like, I wasn't, like myself, I wasn't the most, I still don't feel like I'm the most rated director, even though I've been managing a group since for now 20 years. I'm so if I sit in the room with 100 directors, I probably would not even be counted as one of them. Mm-hmm. In the UK or in the US. If I sing in the room amongst the most talented singers, I probably would not be picked as one of them. So these are generally the thing is in yourself. It's really important that you know your audience, you know who have a vision, your purpose for yourself. So it's not about what people think of you. It's not whether people think you're the best singer, whether you're the best. People tell me, that group of people that will always tell me that, wow, your voice is amazing, it's unique. You've told me that you loved my, the style and the African style of my music. I think that more because it's different. So it's very, very important that for you to know who you are as an artist yourself and understand your own brand.
For sure. Yes, and I said that to say there's a lot of people that I see are feeling very rejected because they want to be the best. They want to hang with the big dogs. They want to roll with the big dogs, with the cool kids that sing really well and this and that. And I feel like they're missing their it's okay to be rejected. You can still make a lot of money and a lot of people don't like you. A lot of people don't like what you do. You might not be respected by other singers, like you said, directors. They might not respect what you do, but there's a whole field of people that love what you do and you're getting paid well for it. So allow people's rejection to really redirect you into where you're supposed to be. Like, look at Tyler Perry. He's a multimillionaire, if not a billionaire, and half of the film industry hates his guts. But he knows his audience. You see what I mean? Yeah. Like serious actors, serious directors can't stand Tyler Perry. But Tyler Perry has an audience that's eating out of his hands, so they don't matter. Don't worry about the people that don't like you. Find the ones that do and rinse and repeat that over and over and over again.
Absolutely. So that's pretty much a system. It's about self-belief. It's about finding learning from those who are doing it. And don't try to, if you can figure it out yourself, you decide how long you want to stay, what you want to do. All right. But this coaching program that we run is about how you can make 6 figures You might even make 7 figures, in 6 weeks. And again, then we could make that clear, because some people say, can you really make 6 figures in 6 weeks in this industry? Yes, you can, because it depends on who your clients are. And not just that, you can see it 2 ways. You can see it in one way is, you can see it in a way of, you can learn everything you need to know in 6 weeks, or you can make 6 figures in 6 weeks. Okay? I've done it before. But again, it takes time to learn how to do this. Okay? But if you already have a system, then the systems are right. Okay, cool. Wow, I have this system. All I needed to have done is this and that and that. Wow, I've got Bitcoin already. I've got agency of people all over. I've got people in Colombia. I've got people in South Africa. I've got people in Australia, and I've got demands with people. I know this area. A lot of people get married, or a lot of corporate event goes on in this particular area. Wow, okay, cool. This is what I need to do. Okay, even though you don't know what to do, don't leave it there, because you can catch few fish, or you can catch max. For some people, they're happy to just have 10 bookings in a year. That's a great result for an artist. 10 bookings. Fantastic. Do you want 10 bookings, or do you want 100? Or do you want 200? Or do you want 500 bookings? It's possible. How about the talents? Everybody, we've got different talents. 5 talents will give it. 1 says, you know what, master, take it back. Yeah, that's the one you've given me. I'm giving it back to you. The one that had the most, doubled it. Yeah. The more you are capable, of course, it's okay for you to stay in your lane. Just say, you know what, I'm going to just manage it this small. I feel comfortable with that. That's fine. But if you can do more, then do more. But in order to learn more, you need people like myself. And there's not search online to try to find any Christian, anything gospel that's going to teach you with the wealth of experience I've got. It's out there. It's not there. You can go to music schools. They're going to teach you, give you some big assignment, give you some, 6-month courses or 3-year courses, learning the same thing. I'm still going to go back. I have people that work for me, with me, and they've been to music schools. They've taught marketing. They've done presentations and everything. And they've not been able to set up or even do what I do. Even you were talking about going on the show and being able to get a show. Some of them have not even been able to do that, and they've been to music school. Wow. I know loads of them. Yeah. So no disrespect for anyone that's been to music school and all that, but some of these things are not. No, the music school is not a business program. You don't learn how to be a business person in music school. Even music, but yeah, entrepreneurship is definitely a niche that isn't necessarily taught in music school. Yeah. That's a totally different discipline. So you're right. And that's the thing. When people go to music school, you have to have a plan of how am I going to make money? Because gigging from one gig to the next is cool until it's not. So you want to have a system built. You want to have a system built for when it's not cool anymore. You want your money to keep coming in. You want to have another source of income. So this is fantastico. I think this is great. So in closing, you guys follow Sam Adebanjo if you would like more information on his system. How can they find you? I'm also, just so you know, I'm on Instagram, but I'm also on YouTube and Facebook and everything on my laptop. So you have people listening on both in several spaces. Yeah, you can get us. You can make contact with me through Delisa, or you can make contact with me, Sam Adebanjo, Sam with M, 2 M's at the end, and Sam SAM Adebanjo, or you can just Google me, Sam Adebanjo. You'll find me anyway. And put Gospel Touch. If you put Gospel Touch, online as well. You can connect with me through Gospel Touch and any platform really you find Gospel Touch. As it's a very popular generic name, but we Gospel Touch is the most popular Gospel Touch in the world. So Google does give us that preference, which is fantastic. So yeah, get in touch and let me know. The course is going to be on the 16th of March. 16th of March is a mastermind one-day course.
Yes.
Just 3 hours. We're going to be giving you some great nuggets. And it's only less than $20. Less than $20. And you can register for this mastermind course, and then you can take it from there where you want to book in for the one-to-one coaching for the 6 weeks course. But yeah, just to register, it's going to be a lot of great information, you're going to be really inspired. And I'm looking to bring in some guys as well that they've worked with God Touch over the years. Some of them that started their own thing. Some great information is going to be packed with loads of great content. So for that 3 hours, it's going to be powerful. And so you may as well get enough information from there.
$20? Sheesh.
Just for $20, yeah, you're going to be getting some great
Sam, hold on. Sam, people are, hold on. Sam, let me spell your name because Adebanjo. It's very Nigerian, guys.
I'm very Nigerian, yeah?
Yeah, that's a very Nigerian name. Adebanjo.
Adebanjo, yes, Adebanjo. It's not Sam Smith. It's Adebanjo. Yes, proud Nigerian.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, but thank you. We hope to connect with some more people and then help people.
Absolutely.
To really achieve great things, greatness, like we are doing. And yeah.
I know if I'm tired, you're tired. Huh?
I like what you said about multiple stream of income as well. I like the way to see that as well, because that could be a side income until you really expand. If you already got something, so even if you're a broker coach, there's a system. The system without broadening it too wide, but a system. Once you have a system, that system will allow you to follow different, whatever, the system. There's a system I have in place, and pretty much you can work with a lot of other projects, anything music, live music. So, and that's the beauty about it. Even if you don't want to do exactly what we do.
Absolutely. That there's an infrastructure that can work for other things. Absolutely. For other music professionals and other creatives. I get it.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is awesome. Thank you so much for chatting it up.
Thank you. So looking forward to our next trip should be something that's coming up, but then we're planning something for Florida, yeah?
Yay! I'm very excited.
Yeah.
It's always a good day to go to Florida. Always a good day to go home.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, thank you guys. I thank you guys for tuning in, and if you're watching this video after, thank you for watching to the end. And remember to connect with Sam Adebanjo. Connect to me, Val, True, Delisa, of course, and then let's help you to really launch your great career in doing as an entrepreneur, and we're doing great stuff with music and making 6 figures and beyond, 7 figures.
Yes.
And you have what it takes, and you, wherever you are in the world, especially US and UK, we want to help you to achieve this. So get in touch. Let's do it.
All right. Have a good one.